On January 21, 2025, Donald J. Trump was sworn in as the 47th President of the United States, marking his return to the White House after a 4-year hiatus, a moment that many had anticipated with mixed emotions. The inauguration ceremony held on the steps of the Capitol building in Washington, D.C., was attended by thousands of supporters and dignitaries. The event signaled the beginning of Trump's second term, a period already anticipated to be as eventful and controversial as his first. Trump's victory in the 2024 election came after a divisive and closely contested campaign against incumbent President Kamala Harris. The former president campaigned on a platform of restoring American strength, economic prosperity, and a return to conservative values. His victory speech echoed these themes, emphasizing his commitment to putting America first and restoring the nation to its former glory. The inauguration marked the culmination of a remarkable political comeback for Trump, who had remained a powerful force in American politics despite his defeat in 2020. Throughout the following years, he maintained a high public profile, regularly holding rallies and criticizing the Biden administration. His return to the White House solidified his position as a dominant figure in American politics, leaving many to wonder what his second term would hold for the nation and the world. The inauguration was not without its share of controversy. Protests erupted in cities across the country, with critics voicing concerns about Trump's policies and rhetoric. The former president's return to power sparked anxieties about the future of American democracy and the potential for further polarization in an already divided nation. As Trump took the oath of office, the nation held its breath, bracing itself for the unpredictable journey that lay ahead, filled with both hope and uncertainty. In the first hours of his presidency, Trump signed a flurry of executive orders, signaling a sharp departure from the policies of the previous administration. These orders, ranging from immigration to environmental regulations, provided a clear indication of the direction his second term would take, emphasizing his commitment to his campaign promises. One of the most consequential orders was the reinstatement of the Remain in Mexico policy, forcing asylum seekers to await their court hearings in Mexico, a move that drew both praise and criticism. Another significant order revoked the Biden administration's executive orders on climate change, signaling a stark shift in environmental policy. Trump had long been a critic of environmental regulations, arguing that they stifled economic growth and hindered American energy independence. His actions signaled a return to his pro-fossil fuel agenda and a rejection of the global consensus on climate change, which he often described as a hoax. The order to withdraw the United States from the Paris Climate Agreement, a landmark international accord aimed at reducing greenhouse gas emissions, drew sharp criticism from environmental groups and world leaders alike. Further fueling controversy was Trump's decision to pardon individuals involved in the January 6th Capitol riot, a move that shocked many. The pardons, which included individuals convicted of seditious conspiracy and other serious offenses, were seen by many as an affront to the rule of law and a dangerous precedent for future elections. Critics argued that Trump was using his pardon power to shield his allies and undermine faith in American democracy, further polarizing the nation. These executive actions immediately set the tone for Trump's second term, signaling a return to his populist and often divisive policies that had marked his first term. The speed and scope of these actions left many Americans reeling, wondering what other surprises awaited them in the coming days, weeks, and months. The stage was set for a tumultuous period in American history, with the nation on edge as it awaited the next chapter in the Trump presidency, filled with uncertainty and anticipation. To implement his ambitious agenda, Trump assembled a cabinet composed of loyalists and individuals known for their hardline stances on key issues, reflecting his own uncompromising views. These appointments provided insight into the direction of his administration and the potential impact on both domestic and foreign policy. One of the most scrutinized appointments was that of Mike Pompeo as Secretary of State, a role of immense global significance. Pompeo, who had served as Trump's Secretary of State during his first term and later as CIA Director, was known for his hawkish foreign policy views and his close alignment with the president's America First agenda. Another notable appointment was that of Elise Stefanik as United States Ambassador to the United Nations, a position of critical diplomatic importance. Stefanik, a rising star in the Republican Party, had gained national attention for her staunch defense of Trump during his first impeachment trial, solidifying her reputation as a loyal supporter. Her appointment signaled a continuation of Trump's confrontational approach to international diplomacy and his disdain for multilateral institutions. The Department of Homeland Security, a key agency in Trump's immigration crackdown, saw the return of Chris Kobach as secretary, a move that was both praised and criticized. Kobach, known for his controversial views on immigration and voter fraud, had previously served in the Trump administration as vice chair of the Presidential Advisory Commission on Election Integrity. His reappointment raised concerns among civil rights groups about potential human rights violations and a renewed focus on restrictive immigration policies. The selection of these individuals, known for their unwavering loyalty to Trump and their hardline positions on critical issues, raised concerns about potential conflicts of interest, lack of experience in governance, and the prioritization of personal allegiance over national interest. Critics argued that these appointments reflected a dangerous trend towards authoritarianism and a disregard for democratic norms, potentially undermining the foundations of American democracy. As the new administration took shape, the nation braced itself for the consequences of these appointments and the policies they were expected to enact, with many watching closely to see how these choices would unfold. As President Trump embarks on his second term, his administration is focused on several key priorities. One of the major policy areas is the economy. Trump aims to continue his efforts to boost economic growth through tax cuts and deregulation. However, he faces significant challenges, including managing the national debt and addressing income inequality. Healthcare remains another critical focus. Trump seeks to repeal and replace the Affordable Care Act, but this has proven to be a contentious issue with strong opposition from both political parties and the public. The challenge lies in creating a new healthcare plan that satisfies all stakeholders. Immigration policy is also at the forefront. Trump continues to push for stricter immigration controls and the completion of the border wall. This priority faces legal battles and humanitarian concerns, making it a complex issue to navigate. On the international stage, Trump's foreign policy aims to prioritize American interests. This includes renegotiating trade deals and reducing military involvement abroad. However, these moves have sparked debates over America's role in global affairs and its relationships with allies. Environmental policy is another area of focus. Trump plans to roll back regulations to promote energy independence, but this has drawn criticism from environmental groups concerned about climate change. Balancing economic growth with environmental protection remains a significant challenge. In summary, Trump's second term is marked by ambitious goals across various policy areas, each accompanied by its own set of challenges. How these priorities are addressed will shape the future of the nation. The government introduced significant tax cuts, aiming to stimulate economic growth. However, these cuts have sparked debates about their long-term impact on public services and national debt. In parallel, there's a renewed focus on infrastructure, with promises of improved roads, bridges, and public transit systems. The question remains, can these initiatives coexist harmoniously? In a move that surprised many, the administration took a controversial stance on healthcare reform. Critics argue that the proposed changes could leave millions without essential coverage, while supporters claim it will reduce overall costs and increase efficiency. This decision has undoubtedly ignited a fiery debate across the entire nation. Despite growing concerns about climate change, the government is doubling down on fossil fuels. New policies are being introduced to expand drilling and mining operations. Proponents believe this will boost the economy and create jobs, but environmentalists warn of irreversible damage to our planet. The tension between economic growth and environmental protection has never been more palpable. There's a noticeable shift in the country's approach to global engagement. Recent policies indicate a move towards isolationism, with a focus on strengthening national borders and reducing international commitments. This shift is seen by some as a necessary step to prioritize domestic issues, while others fear it could diminish the nation's influence on the world stage. The balance between national interests and global responsibilities is now under intense scrutiny.